Give him, hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never, never change. You never, never lie. You never, never change. You never, never fail. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Give him, hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah, hey. Give him the highest praise.
Hey, I'm not afraid, Jehovah. Come and worship Jehovah. He deserves the praise. Come and praise him. He deserves everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, he gave me life. I will praise his name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because he gave me life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come now.
The liberal, anytime this guy he's here to join me, there's an issue, but I discover his total behavior there. We want to welcome our viewers across the globe, wherever you are this morning, this afternoon. We say welcome, whatever the situation, to we praise the Lord. Even when the COVID surface in Liberia, we want to sing hallelujah to his name.
Hey, give me the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hey, hallelujah. Hey. Sing praises to Jehovah.
Oh man, what about the situation? So we gotta praise his name and we gotta be still. Let us not panic. We are children of God. When I'm trying to go be like a Samson tour here, the thing amazing is that when he's praying, all his eyes all wide open, he doesn't close his eyes, and he's serious there. Lord Jesus is praying, he's praying. But whatever it is, that is prayer. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv right here. As usual, we're going to be discussing some high call issues, specifically about our country. We're going to have an open mic, but specific emphasis we're going to be laid on the developing story in Liberia as well. As you know, the COVID is not yet gone, but we are stubborn. And who is responsible for that? All of us should have a sure responsibility in making sure that our people are protected. The only thing Liberian people run from is rain. Bullet flying, they will stress their neck to see the type of bullet, where the bullet is coming from, and who is firing that bullet. The 15K is yet to go away. And this is why some of us are pissed to the last point of the degree. And people are given political justification. We are noted of managing crisis in Liberia. In our individual lives, organizations, we note of managing crisis instead of us being proactive to prevent crisis. I'm Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio. If you are here in the US, Europe, or Liberia, we want to say welcome to this hardcore talking point. A lot is in store for us. Let's start the ball rolling. Okay, let's get a ball. Inside standing by is LPR Studio B Angle, the liberal progressive based in California, Saxton, Sacramento, Something, Bloku, Toll, from Grangeda County, from Barzon District, from Town to Morovia. It was not the dust wasn't settled. He jumped on KLM all the way to Europe, throw him right here, Ocean State of Rhode Island. What happens, what not happen? Check out the details on Google. Let me bring in the liberal progressive. Yeah, he's going to be joining me here very shortly. There he is, the most liberal on this network. What's going on? Are you in a different position this evening?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Soul. Thank you very much for having us on here.
Okay.
Yes, we're preparing ourselves for tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow's show. What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, we're going to go deeper into the Rawalpindi International Highway, Rawalpindi Airport, ERWA Rawalpindi Airport International Highway, the 4-lane. And as you will see, of course, tomorrow, the construction has started. So we want to go a little bit deeper into it. But we want to make sure we come very early in the morning so that our brothers and sisters in Liberia will be able to watch it as well.
Oh, that sounds good. And it's going to be a jam-packed programs here tomorrow. I'm going to be having one of our tough-talking ANC supporter. She's an advocate, Yasini Marin Bay, based in Atlanta, Georgia. Is going to be joining me here in all-out, no holding back interview. She's a strong supporter of Alexander Benedict Cummings of the Alternative National Congress. You're going to be here. And then on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a Liberian that I consider her as a hero, Fatu, is based in Europe. She's a HIV positive. But you know what? She has overcome fear, intimidation, molestation, every other thing you think about, and she's willing to empty all, and even willing to the extent to become a goodwill ambassador to educate, inform, for those that are having that sort of value to allay their fear and live their life and be able to make their own decision. So it's going to be a hectic weekend. Okay, just call his name is Tough Talking. I don't know how you're going to square out with the Liberator this evening. The Liberator is not going to get away with it. Amos George is here. You thought he wasn't coming, right? Let me bring in Amos George from Atlanta, Georgia. Is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. There he is, from a more conservative state, Georgia, even though we whipped them massively. And Donald Trump tried to place a call to twist and temper with the election to result, but the Secretary of State has stood firm. I wonder if something too are going to be the Secretary of State. Fear won't grab me. Mr. President, I'm going to do it. Okay, yeah, hold on, Mr. President, give me 1 minute. This guy, this total guy. Okay, gentlemen, to welcome. Hopefully, our man from Australia, contributor to WIDA, going to be joining us here. Look, guys, a lot is on the plate. A lot is unfolding in Liberia, across the globe. Let me take the quick commercial break, and I will be right back.
you be moim be free. Chiblenka Jirake, now on Britannia be gen de Parado Buchin. Ba webe wadan colonial faroke jiji, where that biramuni no. Ojeke wema colonial faroke or se penny unit or the baku ke on your private ba, waron kananake. Ojeke webe ma colonial faroke, the bebe you twinkemo, ne jo you wawa, bring some be a yoni, can ye ko ni pra, or can ye son in plani, name you a ikabe, the Rapamwe. Benje de dier bengerin ke kwa menyu wana ke jenyo ke kwa mo igwo nyu ka be na blike de du yin mo yin benge de to be o benyu benge wana ke bengo yi blanye bengo mbuche o kinki mo monda benge nyuru mo kwanyi tode soni mo de suike nin mo yin drian kwai boti sembla juke nyi fie bo mu ke na le soni dre kwai nyi dero yi pon ni me dre kwai o kuni mo we sembla ke ti sembla ke me dre kwai boti pra kuni o tani mo monda benge de benyo pra ye bengere mu o nyeni mo ni son ke me ba wen juke nyi ko mu o nyi san ni o muni ke mo monda benge ni mi memero konne o ni mi no ji meke ya ku o je monda bengo ta o bengo yidu bengo di se paren sa igu de be ba ke nyuru o ji fi ba blen o ji yo wa be na wo je nyuni ke yi ka tre ni be pa pide mu wura be ni ta to be o wa ko mu monda be ro mo bengo ke bun fwen cha ke juke de ro jiji debe panton we mu oble frokpa be koni be mu be ko komna nyobe o nyobe be wane penye be ko abo chenwura nezuo bamba mi obodu toje botina kamu pona ke debe so nye omode Ministry of Health program robo kemu
anye pokra wa na wura wa amu sonati na ji na be amplede dene ji be amplede mo kwete omone ojira kuno ambo kwela o dratu nye pojudu akwarati o patu nye pojudu te o police na o gba wa kuno amu wo o nyine mo coronavirus kan ye nu odade ne kwela o se kureko ajira ba obo fon ne ma be o ji mpona ne na kokure ne shan pare
Is in time sold of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Who get a fair on in there? Is that a laborer?
No, I think that's me.
Oh, if you want to give this guy a chance here now to say like we try to do this. Well, folks in Liberia, whatever you are, we want to say welcome. Let me welcome one of the funniest in this business, Madam Dennis, is the president, I believe, of the Executive Mansion Press Code, also with Joy TV, and a contributor of the Liberia Public Radio. One of the funniest in the media industry in Liberia. Good evening, and I thank you for joining us here and the rest of the crew. Okay. Delibera.
Yes.
This thing they call COVID-19 I am one of the victims. You were one of those who were praying because you felt that I was being questioning you so hard, so tough, and you were praying, acting like Trump. I hope this turning virus I strike this guy, so you're gonna get a break. And indeed, I was strike. I'm not sure that some of the prayer that you are having on this network, but by the grace of God, I managed to triumph. Here we are. This virus. Apparently, the president spoke to the nation. Was that yesterday or the day before yesterday, announcing officially that something is not right going on. Let's see here. Was the president on top of the game this time around?
Well, Mr. So, thank you very much for having me again this evening. Mr. Josh, good evening to you as well. And we say thank you. Let's have the conversation. Mr. So, I'm not quite sure. I hope that they have one of those things you call lesson learned from past experience. Because when they have the first round, when they have the announcement, there was the security apparatus in the country was heavy-handed with our people, and was very bad. You have lots of mix-up, and hopefully they have learned their lesson this time around, and they're going to try to apply that. Whatever they learned in the past will be able to carry on. But I'm not confident with that statement that I just made. I'm not confident that they're able to do that, because if you listen to the minister, she's saying yes, the school going to be open, but most likely if they're going to press, they might have the government to do a lockdown. And we know exactly what the lockdown looked like the last time. It was not something that our people are quite prepared for. And I also
different definition lockdown with our lockdown here. Do you see that your definition is far different from the reality, or what?
well, their lockdown means they give it time. Say 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, people should be out of the street. You have over 1 million people in Monrovia, and 3 o'clock, you want everybody for the street to be clear. And when that didn't happen, the police, the security apparatus, including some scout boys and stuff, started beating on people, and it didn't turn out right. Other people got hurt. And but the interesting thing was they went at it, and for some reason they thought this thing has gone away. So my concern right now is that with all of the lockdown issue that they might be talking about, that I hope that they are prepared, because if they are not prepared, Mr. So, we're going to have some serious problem on our hand. Now that I'm also reading that they're going to stop India, Pakistan, and one other country on the Southeast Asia might not be coming to people from that area, might not be allowed in the country. Now, I'm not too sure how they're going to do that, but it's going to be interesting situation. So those of us that got relatives back home, let's continue to encourage those people to wear their masks, because I'm not too sure if this government has the capacity to deal with it. This is not Ebola, of course, but I'm not too sure.
Mr. Toe, answer my questions. You have gone all around the nation like Steve Makuno, and did I still get the answer that I'm demanding? Is the president on top of the game this time around?
Yes.
Simple as that. That's why you're like, when they tell you to be guest speaker, you will make people sweat like a Christmas goat before you. Even the introductory part alone, then people start fainting, and you can't even get fire service to water down people. Okay, so Pa Joyce, let me get your version. Hopefully, we're going to join us here. Yusuf from Nigeria, we want to say welcome. Uma from Australia as well, and all of you all over the world, we want to say thank you. Welcome. We're going to open the lines here, so we're going to have a conversation, not just talk about the problem, but a potential to put forward solution as to how our government can enhance. Yeah, because it's a challenge we must admit, because people are in doubt that it's not real. When it all started, we all were saying people were crying, baby cry, government wants money, no COVID, this, that. It's here. So, Pa George.
Yeah.
This time the president spoke to the nation. Whether it was a recorded version to whatever it is, but the president came out to communicate. This is something that we all been asking for. This is something that we all been pushing for. You, as the father of the land, step up your game. Be on top of it. Do not wait until people tell you, say move before you move. You're not a baby for somebody to babysit you. Is that a fair analysis? Was the president on top of the game?
No.
Ooh, how?
This announcement the president made, he used audio. Mr. So, when you want to make an impact to people on social issue, appear on TV, look into the camera, that you are talking to the people, the seriousness of this disease. What Joe Biden has been doing here, has he been reading audio? No. He come and just a press conference. Secondly, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Dr. Fauci, they went on TV live to take the shots. The president, has he done so? Has he gone on TV to take the shot to tell other people, if I can take it and it will protect you? Has he done that? No. So where's this speaking to the people to do an audio? That's lack of leadership. Just some serious. Appear on TV. Talk to your people. Take the vaccine in front of them. But what is the population they have launched since the vaccine came to Liberia? Since there's some more thousand. What is the population? The president is the one to lead people, because some people are doubt because they follow all kinds of people. So you, the leader, supposed to lead the way to tell people this is safe and it will protect you. That has not been done. So that's another failure of the leadership.
Okay, it seems that this glove here it's already off here. The Liberal.
Yes.
Here we go. Pastor Joyce said, well, there was no Photoshop by the presidents. Nothing was displayed. We don't know whether the vaccine was administered or not. So he still feels it's an audio. He didn't come to appear visually for people to see. So that his argument. Are you in agreement with him?
Well, in a sense, yes. But this is what I want to say to Mr. George. I think this time around, there's no room to spread blame, blaming this person or that person. This time around, it's a disease. The disease knows no party bound. It has no party limit on it. It's not going to only affect sedition. It's not going to affect only Unity Party member. These are Liberians. So I think when we come to these kinds of discussion, let us find reason to promote whatever it is that our people need to do to protect themselves. Let us just don't leave this thing here at the footstep of George Weah alone. Yeah, he's the president. Yeah, he's the father of the nation. Yeah, he should come out and make these kinds of statements public. I agree. But that doesn't mean that that his leadership is not there. That I don't agree with it. Now, besides the disease, and I'm not, you know me, I'm not a sedition. So
But
I'm not here
liberal.
to...
You are liberal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a liberal. Thank you very much. But I'm not here to defend CDC and Dr. Weah's position. But here's what I looked at. This is how I looked at this thing here. Dr. Weah, I agree. He has a right. I mean, he should come out and let people cry on the shoulder.
It's his responsibility.
No, yeah, it is a responsibility. But he made a statement. You cannot characterize his statement as being leaderless. That I don't agree with. Dr. Weah came out.
Mm-hmm. No, sorry, Libra. Go ahead.
Well, I think if you continue like that, then I think the show might not be starting real well this afternoon. And then I'll just go back into my liberal shell and then put you and Mr. George on one path. And
no,
then
I don't think I'm not think George and I are on the road to Bon County.
Yeah, you are a conservative. Mr. George is a center right. So you guys are not far apart. What I'm saying is, if you're going to start your show like this, then I will put you and Mr. George on one side, and then I will approach both of you from that perspective. I'm a liberal. I am here as a counterweight to both of you. Please let me make my statement. Now, having said that, I think Dr. Weah, the statement he made, is on audio. So what? Our people need to understand that. Those of us that have this platform and things like that, this is what we need to do, to use this opportunity to educate our people. We cannot continue to compare America, Liberia leadership. No, I don't agree with that one. I don't agree. Dr. Weah has exhibited strong leadership, and I know he will continue to do so. So I have no problem with that.
Okay, for the first time, and I don't know why you try to start unnecessary tantrum, because I'm kind of pivoting in your direction. That's very weird to agree with you on analysis. Usually, you always on the other side of the world. Okay, that's okay. But I think, Pat George, fair to say, people listening now will say, wait a minute, this guy is sounding so extreme. Audio, he did not appear live on video. We did not see any Photoshop of he being COVID being the minister, all of that. Okay, that's a fair argument to add up to your case. But at least the president spoke to the nation and said, hey, we didn't hear it out of a blue moon and from other people. The president said, this is why it is, and I given the instruction to authorities. We know there was lapses in the process, but the president spoke to the nation. So why can't we say, okay, let's look at that and see what next?
Okay, let me give you for the argument. He spoke to the nation, but I think on a critical issue like this, your appearance as a leader is very important. That when the people see you on camera, and the Labour said we should not compare America to Liberia about leaders, but you got a president. A president is a president. In Europe, the Prime Minister of Britain appeared. Germany, why do you think they were doing those things? Was to encourage the people to go ahead and take this vaccine and take the necessary precaution that this disease is dangerous, it's deadly. Audio, fine, I will give it to you people. But again, look at the Minister of Health. Today she said, people will cut down the staff 50%. People start staying home to work from home. Are you really serious? Where the internet service? Where the computer that people stay home to work from? Where's the electricity? Come on. They took money and ate it. Now, how the devil you go back to the people who said last time? You think they believe in the government? They don't believe in the government because it's confident. The government last the people don't trust them again. And this is the uphill battle.
Are we making reference to the three branches of government, or are we talking about the executive branch?
Mr. Toh, here's the thing here. Let me be very brief here. The two branches of government, what happened a few days? They have not institutionalized corruption. The executive and the legislature, they have institutionalized corruption. The president got, I don't know how many thousand for his office. Legislature taking 30,000. At this time, when there's no vaccine in Liberia, people taking 1.7 million home. You don't think that money would have been diverted to institution to bring in vaccine for the people? This is an institutionalized corruption now between the executive and that of the legislature. And the confidence crisis is coming again.
My question is, both branches of government should share the responsibility to what has
exactly.
happened.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said the both.
Well, guys, happening now. Okay, one of our Liberia Fanias, scientist, Dr. Dube Chris Nyan, apparently alarmed the government and the people of Liberia of potential resurfacing of the COVID-19. I was in a brief conversation with him this evening, and we managed to obtain this. We are doing everything possible to get Dr. Nyan here at some point in time. We are working on our modalities, and I will do all we can to reach the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. But however, he did volunteer his services going back and warned that especially India, the traffic, the flow of India, which has been the epic of this whole thing here. We saw what happened recently. Let's play this footage here, and let's see whether this conversation is going to take a different directions based on what we are hearing now from Dr. The scientist, Dr. Dubert Chris Nya, is medical and scientific officer, CMSO, right here in the USA, and he's also working in Liberia. Let's listen to this here, and let's see whether somebody going to chew their own tongue here this evening. I'm afraid the Liberal might be the one to be the victim of this one here. But let's see here. Just bear with me. Let me get this video here. I'm quite sure the video here. We managed to pull this video here. Let's see. Okay, this is it. Let's listen to this here, and let's see. And then the article and all from other sister network.
So why can we just give the vaccine to all countries that they have it, that people die, or the other countries that are not being hit, they just wait and see.
Okay, that's we're sorry for that quality there, but that was Dr. Nyan recently in Liberia sent that alarm, and not just only that, I'm going to put this on the screen as well. Hopefully, where he said bluntly to rejected Dr. Nyan's COVID-19 voluntary offer is troubling. Thus, this news here is coming from the Para news outlet here. Let me just put it here, and hopefully we can all see it. Okay, this is it. This is the article here. Blatantly, Dr. Chris Nyan, blatantly rejecting Dr. Nyan's COVID-19 voluntary offer is troubling. So it means there was some sort of a line from this scientist warning the government of Liberia and other people, and even willing to sacrifice to do whatever they can. That did not happen. So let me move this here a little bit here. Liberal.
Yes.
Based on the information that we are in, and a little video clip, there is other information here, and that's what I'm hoping to have in here. Based on the tools that we have, if and only if that video you saw that, I'm not sure whether the audio, it was that audible, but it was in Liberia, try to create some sort of awareness, what people should do, and warn GOL of traffic, people coming from India, considering what India was experiencing. He's a scientist, that his field. It's like when people are talking about engineering, that's your area. So why necessary precautions? Why they didn't listen to him? Why his offer wasn't accepted? I do not know. We don't want to make those sort of judgment now, but based on what we got from this article as well, we hope to get the version from the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Health as well. But if this is so, would that change the talking point?
Well, I wasn't able to clearly hear the audio. It wasn't audible at all. However, I know you and Mr. Nyan is not going to make up stories, so I'm not even questioning the authenticity of the video. However, Mr. So, this is some of the things that I've always say to this government and any other government, including Madam Salif. People who are vindictive, people who do not tend to forgive, they face these kinds of problems. Now, Mr. Yan, Dr. Yan, he's a Liberian, but he's a firebrand Liberian. He also speaks his mind. He doesn't hold back. And he's always in this thing to say, I can help you, but this is what we need to do together. And many people are not quite prepared, especially those who are in the inner circle of the we are government, are not quite prepared to share the stage. And Dr. Nyan is not about ready to take any back seat when it comes to these kinds of stuff. He's not looking for money. He wants to help. But if he's going to be helping, he wants to make sure that he doesn't take order from people who are not scientists, who have no clue on anything. For example, I would suspect if Dr. Nyan goes to Liberia to want to help, and the international community want to set aside and give specific amount of money, targeting special area, Dr. Nyan is not going to let anybody to go and divert the money for something else for which that money is not supposed to be used. And he's not going to allow that. And I think these people, the inner circle of Dr. Weah, and I'm speculating, quite well aware of this, and they're not ready to deal with them. But then at the end of it, who's going to suffer? It's us, the Liberian people, because you refuse the help from the scientists who is helping other nations, other country. He goes around, gives speeches. He goes around and offer help to other countries. But here he is, a son of Liberia who cares for the country. But because you don't want him to be in charge, you don't want to take his help. And we're going to hurt ourselves. That's all I can say about that.
And we're pouring out more information. We're now getting to know here from the New England Bureau, not just only governed there, but in September of 2020, he also wrote, what's his name? Who is the pro tem of the Liberian Senate, George? Your friend?
Abachi.
Is he your friend?
He my friend. The money, the 500,000 I requested for, I know what you're going to do with it. I don't want to be friends with that kind of person.
Okay. So this is quite fascinating here, and it's quite alarming. Now, this is a letter here, September 7th of 2020. Attention members of the Liberian Senate, here Senator Abachi. This is a letter of a request of Dr. Dubenya, who is a scientist, asking the Senate, making recommendations of trying to volunteer his services. Everything is being documented, and even his reservation as to how he Musuka Falat of Enfield was removed, and he was willing to talk to these people and see what he can do. I would do everything possible to have Dr. Nya here. If this letter landed on the Senate deck of his making that sort of request to intervene, to provide his expertise, and they decided to put it on the rug and decided to put the folder with the 15K on top of the health survival of the people, then that is absurd. I think he has gone beyond the red line. He has gone beyond the tip line to see what he could do. Pa George.
This is what I'm saying. This is not the first time I followed Dr. Young. Sometime ago, he had a problem with some doctors in Monrovia, you know. But this is the thing we're talking about. Institutional failing the Liberian people. Mr. Toll right there. He had offered his services. They turned him down. Dr. Young offering services. They turned him down. That the country don't have the resources, but they have citizens outside of the country who can make free contribution for the people. So why not take? They're not asking. Say,
so it's a
hotel.
I'm wondering here. Is it sort of? Yeah, Pa George. I'm sorry to intercept you here, but I'm wondering to try to figure out to wrap this thing around my head. Is here a sort of wall of Gibraltar that is being built between the presidents and outside or people, other Liberian, that whether this information is reaching his desk or whether this information is being processed, and if they are processed, whether it's been finalized to get that forward? What is the deal? Something, Pa George.
Mr. Toll, Mr. So let me say this to you.
Don't call me Toll before we all go off the radar here.
Let me say this to you. Let me say to you. The government, if you don't have anybody in the inner circle that speak to the president ear, you don't. I don't care how much good thing you want to do, you will not be successful. So if you're in bad book with people in the government, Nantana Mange is the gateway to the president, like or not. So if Nantana Mange say,
is it fair to dash all on Nantana Mange?
I'm just saying something. But the man is the president, is the Minister of State for President Affairs. Nobody goes to the president without seeing Nantana Mange.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
If people go to him and say, look, he said, no, the mayor, maybe some people got problem with him, we can't deal with him. Or they just put it aside, give you cold shoulder. That's it. How about here? If it is, I would say it's true because this man got no business to lie about here. Got that letter. If there were any storming plan, you think Abacha would have gone to the mansion and said, Mr. President, this man want to come, but so people here want to stop him. So I need you to get involved. He can't do it. But because these people are focused on corruption, robbing the nation, they do not want bring, because if they bring somebody in, there will be exchange of papers. Someone will catch something, and alarm will blow.
So they do not want to have some sort of paper trail to get some.
So they say, my man, that man with all your boat, you'll keep them there, let it stay on that side. Because you bring it here, you start asking some questions, then the whole thing this will get spoiled. And this is it.
Mr. So
yeah.
Let me buttress Mr. George here for a minute. And basically what this government is doing, what Mr. George has just talked about, is not unique to this government. I also witnessed personally some of the behavior of the past government. There's a friend of mine, I'm not going to say what relation person, I'm not going to say what relationship that I have with that person because I don't want to say anything, but I will say this. The person had worked for Samia, the guy who wanted to be president at one time, Samia or Simon. Anyway, and the person went to work for the government of the Republic of Liberia. Having spent almost 6, 7, 8 years with the government of the Republic of Liberia, and the people recognize her work, that she's very good. So another friend of mine, Amar, I will call his name, Amar Connor, who was the Minister of Finance, recognized that this person had a relationship with us, that means Samson Toe, and also had a good relationship with Kofar, Flanti Kofar, and all of us are good friends. So
You're from Liberty Party. You're from
no, it has nothing to do with Liberty. I said Amara Corner.
No, that'd be a little bit informative yet. I don't know why you call Corner name. You don't want to call the Fanatic Copa, who's the deputy speaker now, correct?
Yes, yes.
Who are with Liberty Party but gone to CDC?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So what's the big deal?
So the young lady were told that she was going to be one of the director closer to the Minister of Finance, in the area where she was going to be able to see what comes in and what comes out. Dr. Colley, who was then a deputy minister, I believe, for administration, finance ministry, recognized this lady that she has worked for Seaman before, and he refused. He said, no, we're not going to do that, because this lady can see some paper here and go leak it out to Seaman, and then Seaman going to make a big deal out of it. So the information, because this lady that they're trying to get at the position, she's very good, very good. I mean, highly educated. So everybody know about her work. So what they say, okay, Amara Conan was in a bad position. I called Kofa. We talked about it, contacted Amara Conan. Amara Conan said, well, let's hold on. So he went to the president, Madame Salih, and Madame Salih refused. Said, yeah, she's good. I know about her, but I'm not going to get her in that position because of this thing. So what Mr. George is saying here is quite the truth. So if the people are saying they're not going to take the doctor, because the doctor, as I stated before, he's not going to take backseat to nobody, especially people who are not versed in this area of COVID-19. And here's what's coming, Mr. So. If the government of Liberia do not try to get as much help as they can get now, they do not have the capacity. And within the next 2-3 months, this thing going to blow up. And even though the America said they're going to be sending vaccine and stuff like that, China said, if America sent vaccine and the Chinese government sent vaccine, which one the Liberian people you think would prefer? The U.S. But guess what? Liberia is not the only country that is cramming for the U.S. vaccine. So if the government of the Republic of Liberia do not try to get help, people like Dr. Yan, they have inside track. They can tell you who to contact for you to get your consignment of vaccine as quickly as possible. But you're going to push him away. Who you think going to negotiate for you? Samuel Twe, what does he know about vaccine? So these are kinds of stuff our people are going to be missing out. But then again, I'm saying that we should use the public medium to educate our brothers and sisters. Those who perhaps, if the government becomes so disabled, in other words, our brothers and sisters, just so they don't suffer, let's continue to push the social distancing, the wearing of masks. Let it be the topic of all platforms. Because if our brothers and sisters, Michael, get to understand that the wearing a mask not only protect you, but it's also protect you from everyday airborne disease. So this is the kinds of benefit you get from wearing masks. So I would suggest that all of us continue to
yeah, and I agree with that. And I think that's in as much we critique, we must also create a room where we can put forward solution. And this is where all of the branches of government, because this whole thing interfaces with the politics as well, because we have men and women in the first branch of government that should do their due diligence. In the lower branch, the upper branch, there are committees responsible for these things. And this is what I said. Our people are in the habit of okay, I'm just getting the confirmation here that Dr. Chris Dubanya will be joining me here Monday afternoon at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chris Dubanya, one of the funniest sons of Liberia. He's a scientist based here in the USA. He will be joining me here on the Liberia Public Radio here at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, and we're going to really get to the bottom line here. Back to the point. All of us, Pa George, I just feel that we must find a solution, then that we can talk about the blame, because for whatever reason, it's just a tradition in our country. I just don't know why. And there's nowhere that we can go to Germany or come to the US for find special medication to medicate our officials of honesty, sincerity, and good governance. Yeah, we have all of the lawmakers, and we were just talking about a couple of days now, the whole thing now just flip everybody out here. You have hospitals, you have medical facilities, like of basic needs, and you have those people, what I would call the Russian thousands of dollars. And all of them are giving justification because they strategically put that into handbill. So it becomes like a legal thing, putting aside common sense. I'm wondering now how many of them will go to their various constituencies and tell them, say, this is the virus. Guess what? We're talking to one of my cousins today, Liberia, just late this evening. I say, hey, this virus is real. Uncle died at that time, Martin in America that we can't. I say, oh, okay, you're not tying more. Go ahead. Nobody goes with people when they're going. So the mind of the people is just it's a challenge. How we too can deal with the ordinary citizen to make them to understand, in as much the bad policy, the lack of administrative action, the lack of proactive measures by this government. What can we do now as well to convince, to persuade, to talk to the people, say, this is real, this is what you need to do? How do we go about doing that?
Mr. So, and this is why I come here again. We come here when COVID started, we talked to people, the virus was deadly. Do this, do that. We can do all that. But there are institutions that are responsible to reinforce the messages that we're preaching. But if these institutions are not doing it and the people don't trust them, then we can talk all year. It's for nothing. Then I always let them make reference because I hear. Look at Donald Trump. He went and got a vaccine on a cover, telling the people that, oh, the virus will get this vaccine. They're telling the people, but they went and got it on a cover. But it's not in our case. The vaccine is not accessible to our people.
Not only on a cover, Pa George. You remember when it was like this?
Yes.
And then he left. What a hospital name again?
Oh, the Watery.
Watery, and then he came out and put it in your pocket.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we can tell our people this thing that look, but this particular strain, what they call it's called the Delta strain. They say it's very deadly, and they say, but if you have been vaccinated, it can prevent you from going to hospital. But then our people have not been vaccinated. Government is not thinking, it's not proactive to say, you know what happened? People get free stuff, some free vaccines. Not try to see what we can get from outside there. No. They want the guy, the choir, they're not making effort to get another one. Then the traffic. We heard about India, Brazil. Why the government could not say, you know what happened? Let's close the traffic from India for now. Okay, if we have people coming from Brazil, but let's see. If nobody coming, we'll close that traffic. If people coming, we'll close those areas. And see, these are proactive measures you do. Other countries did it. But you don't do it. And these people flooding from that country into the country. What they're bringing, you don't know. Do we have the equipment to do a real accurate test on these people? I mean, I will say it.
I'm wondering what even testing is ongoing. I know a couple of people left this today. They say it's a chaotic situation when you arrive at the Roberts International Airport and all of that. So I don't know.
And there's the thing, Mr. So, a friend of mine was taken to EAW hospital. Stayed there 2 days. Never saw a doctor. This man died. 2 days. What hospital you go in this country? That 2 days stay in the hospital, you don't see your
I
doctor.
saw the footage from is that a Hot FM again today? Some scenario at the JFK Medical Center
Right now, yes.
where there's no bed.
There's no bed. There's no light. But you, lawmakers, taking $15,000 for like the consultant.
So okay, but then guys, this whole thing here, okay, let money come and sit on the side here. So it means the three branches of government, and the most important, the most absurd part of this thing is the first branch of government that should hold the executive branch accountable. Yeah, we have these men and women wearing pants and skies and whatever they can, dresses and all of that. They are in a sort of behavior, like they are institutionalized, not just only corruption, abuse of power, abuse of financial power, taking advantage of the Liberian people. But yet we still have people saying that it's in a book. It has been there ever since from Helen Johnson, sir. Who put it there? They politically and calculatively incited that to be their attacking point. Now they're getting all of that. Yeah, we are. So what are they doing? I'm wondering now, would they be going to their various constituencies to create an awareness?
But this is the point we are talking to the voters. Look, this money. And none of them came out to say it. None of them, when the money was given, nobody can tell when they posted it. Then people start asking for that when they start, everybody coming out to defend it. But if and let me say this, I always say, there's something that is legal, but morally wrong. Okay, they did this thing, they say it's legal, but it's morally wrong because what? If a citizen cannot survive on $1 and you're taking 15,000 in your pocket, saying that at least one of the representatives or Dixon, because at least they playing it, he said the money is for him to use at his discretion. Now,
no, but that's the condition attached to it, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because if you give it at your will, nobody want to question you.
Yeah. If you say you give me something, and I say that thing you give me, I can use at my discretion. You got no question. Ministers, they allocate 300,000 for minister for special projects. These projects are not spent in the budget. So the minister uses 300,000 at his will. So if the whole year, if the minister brought his girlfriend, he said you can be a consultant for the Ministry of Finance or what and so on, I will pay 50,000. That's it. If the whole year the minister doesn't do anything with that money, at the end of the year he take that money, nobody question what happened. Do the money go back to the budget? No.
Okay, so here is the deal. Let me bring in the liberal here. The liberal.
Yeah.
Can I make you a president for maybe 5 minutes here this evening?
I'm already a president.
Oh,
why you gotta suggest that?
Don't transport the conversation here. Look, on a serious note, we heard the president. I have a tape here with for the Minister of Information, Dr. The Minister. I have not had the time to really conclude it here. But let's deploy some common sense here. What should the government, what should the authority, and even we, the citizens, we also have shared responsibility. Our people too are not willing to take responsibility of their own lives. And people will say, okay, the government are doing that. Yeah, I understand that. But you too should have common sense, should also factor in. We have everybody, if not all, but good number of people relative here. I'm saying this to say what I experienced here from last month, June 11th, from that COVID, believe me or not, and you were making fun out of it here, which still not go down well with me. That's tough. I mean, I know other people may experience it differently in reactions or stuff, but the one that I experienced, where in the form of people taking those sort of refugee blanket that I once used before in Freetown, and all of a sudden when you look, it closes your whole esophagus, your whole airway is blocked, and you think that something is stuck in your throat, you can't get it out. Nothing. It's dangerous. How many of these ventilators that do we have that, God forbid, if this thing go off here, is blown over the roof? that they're going to give it to people. So this is very, very serious. Besides the government, what can we do to create some sort of massive awareness, to talk to our relatives, our siblings, our people? Hey, forget about people taking 15, 20, whatever it is, but this thing is real. You need to have that sort of that social distancing. You need to find masks, no mask, find a piece of cloth and tie your mouth.
Mr. So, thank you for that question. Beautiful question. But here's the thing here. Liberians are sophisticated nowadays, and Liberians are engaged. Remember the lockdown, the first time, how rough they were on people in Monrovia, breaking people market straw and doing all kinds of damage to people's property, beating people up. And what did the people do? Okay, the CDC responsible. And I bet you, if you go deep inside some of those voters, 2020, December, some of the reason you will find that lockdown was some of the thing that was on the people's mind. If you don't do things right and you think that people are going to just sit down, yeah, they'll say, okay, let him do it. What in my heart, they don't know. And this is exactly what Liberians are. The Liberian, back home, they say, let's see your hand. They didn't say, well, let's see your heart. So those are the time, these are kinds of stuff that if this government is not able to handle correctly, they will be punished. Mr. So, this government, this is
before the punishment, Mr. To, before the punishment, the damage has already been done.
Yes, I agree. But here's the thing here. Here's the thing. If the damage will be done, yes, it will. I'm not disputing that. However, if this government, if this thing gets out of hand and people die unnecessarily, this government and these people will be punished. Not, I mean, by any kind of physical means, but during the election, they will be punished. They will be rejected. And look at Donald Trump. If Donald Trump,
is that what we should focus on, or we should?
Mr. So, we're talking about politicians. These are politicians. These are not medical doctors, and they refuse to refer this thing in the hand, put it in the hand of medical doctor who will make medical decision. And when they make medical decision, it affects them politically. And that's the fear.
But yeah, is my argument here. I am not too relaxed. I am not too confident. I am not too precise in the decision-making process of most of our electorates, because these politicians can easily tweak their minds. And they will end up putting them there again. And all they're going to be
no, Mr. So, this is going to be different. The death from this disease, as you experience it, you just describe what happened to you. And if your relatives in Liberia, what there is nothing, no medicine, no bed. People die if you have an accident right now, no bed. Can you imagine? They don't have ventilator. They don't have any of those kinds of stuff. Now, what I'm saying to you, this government, if they want to do well, and I hope the politician, the opposition should not even use this against the government either. The government, if they refuse to hand this thing into the medical people's hand, they will be breaking their own neck. The opposition have nothing to do with it. Now, it's sad, but this is how they think. They think for themselves. They're not thinking about the people. So if they refuse to hand this thing over to medical practitioner to handle this thing fully, they're going to suffer politically. Now, let's put politics aside for a minute, Mr. So. This disease, it doesn't have mark or know the mark or CDC or whatever. It got you, whoever is going to get. So you need people that will be able to make sound decisions. Not people that will make decisions not only for themselves, but for their colleagues. They go to the cabinet meetings without wearing masks. They go to a party without wearing masks. And these same people come to these government offices. Whatever they get, they're going to spread. And once the thing get into places like Sodin Wayne, once this thing get into places like West Point, New Town, community, the congested area in Liberia, And the fact that it's not going to behave like Ebola, because Ebola is a visual, you can see it quickly, so people can try to get away from that person as soon as possible. But this is not. You don't know until weeks later. By that time, it's late. Then you already pass it on to other people. So if you think you're going to do contact tracing in West Point, good luck.
Because I am out of words. I seen this communication here since the 7th, 2020, by Dr. Chris Nyan to the Liberian Senate of he volunteering his services. You have Dr. Merchant here. I was talking to her. You have Tobo Nyenswa, all of these people. Because I even remembered all of the people that were retired, right, with this whole virus. There was a pronouncement. The government called these people. It's all more like reactivate in terms of, say, like it was a, conventional or something, or the also just recording. And that was the situation. All of the nurses, people that were even retired, the government reached out to those people to come to intercede, to intervene, and, and provide their expertise. I'm wondering, what are they considering that? What are fall against which party? These people are professional people. So their judgment should not be taken into a context in a political form. But what they want to do is to save life. Do you think we're going to see that happening, Papa George, and something? Musoka Fala, he was dismissed, whatever he was dismissed, I believe administrative, which the president has the right to do. But we don't even know what happens. And that's where some of the medical association people were even questioning that. Will they convene to call these medical experts to share notes and see what something practical that they can introduce? Will we see that happen?
Yes, the problem here. Musoka Fala was dismissed and was turned over for prosecution. Should have been the government said they wanted to prosecute him for something. Up to today, we don't know what happened. Now, you continue to ask the question, what can we do to our people? We talk about social distancing, wearing masks, washing your hands, stop shaking hands, stop greeting, hugging people. All these things we can tell the people. It's good. But what is the role of the government when the people don't trust the government? How can now you handle that situation?
So what sort of trust they're going to be basing on right now? We are talking
yes,
about
because here's the thing. The Ministry of Health is the one supposed to be leading the chat. But look at the pronouncement she's making. Is that realistic? You say 3 feet. People must be in classes 3 feet. Mr. Toyo, you and I know how many students in one class in Liberia? How can you create the space of 3 feet among those people? This is a very tough situation again where we find ourselves. They gave relief to them. Today they said they still distributing the rice, the food, but you can't see it. No accountability. Now, how can you go by these people to say, you know what happened? Slow down. Stay home a little bit. They're not say you're joking.
I'm going to be putting the number out here. Go ahead. I'm going to be putting the number out here.
These are the problem.
People will also call.
And now let me go back to my point I made. If the government brings in some of these people, expertise, to come to lend a hand to the Liberian government, which most of them will be willing to do. But then, will these people be willing to show the papers, to show the people works? Because when these people come in, they come in as professional. They want to do things straight. And if you want them to cut corners, you don't want them to go this way, you don't want them to do this one, then of course, how can people work freely? So this is the problem. The problem has it has a own tunes, it has a link. And the link is corruption. Because when people feel that when people come in, some money will come in. And when that money come in, the people say, hey, well, you can't use the money for this one. They say, you see, the man will come in, he's not working here, but he want to come and take over and want to control people. So all these things, that's why I see they're always preventing people who volunteer to come and give the expertise to the country at the time when it's most needed, to prevent them. because the fear that these people will expose them, will stop certain things, they will not get certain things going. And this is again where we find ourselves. When they bring Mustafa Enfield, he was dismissed. They say immediate audit. He will be turned over for prosecution. Now, we have not heard anything again. So how can you bring this man back? Dr. Young, how can he bring it back when he's a firebrand? He will not compromise his principles. So they are afraid of these people.
So here is the thing, folks. This is a very consequential conversation. We're going to get to the second part, but the number is out there. We want you to participate because it's about our country. It's about your country, all of us. So I think we all should be able to share our ideas and conversation with the hope that someone in authority will listen. This is why we always maintain civility here in our conversation. And as much sometimes we find tough and harsh, but it also pins people down when you see things that are not being done rightly. Because when I saw this letter here, the letter being sent to the Senate, right? To say, hey, this is who I am. This is what we want to do. Even if they are not saying that, don't you think it was their responsibility to reach out to these people here so that they can use their contacts and see what extra helping hand could be given to provide their expertise, suggestions, and all of that?
No.
Because you have Toba Nyoswa here. You have Nya here, Dr. here, and a lot of even nurses here. I'm quite sure if they create some sort of avenue or some sort of opening, believe me or not, I don't care how tough it is, some of our brilliant nurses, doctors, and people here, they will go in to go help. They will go in to go help.
So it boiled down to this issue. Dr. Tobo. And they accuse him that they want to prosecute him to Liberia. He will be prosecuted in Liberia. They accuse him. So when you're running these people out of the country, and when there's a pandemic, which afford they have the expertise and contact, how can you call them back when you are already threatening a person? You are legislating this person did this person, you want to prosecute them. Now, how can you call these people back?
So here is the thing here, Mr. Toyin, you can come in. I'm not sure what our lawmakers are going to be saying. In as much calculatively, politically, they inserted that sort of ridiculous money, knowing exactly how many Liberians survive a day. There are a lot of people go empty with their belly. And they post something there and they are giving it a huge backing now. It was there before. It was there before.
But who put it there?
Who put it there? That's what I'm saying. They put it there. Whether they were there at the time, it was in there, I don't care. But you knew something very well. Common sense tells you that it doesn't sound logical. It doesn't sound reasonable, for heaven's sake. Looking at what the country is going through, and you think it's your entitlement, and you want to give justification. So to be honest with you, all of those people from all of them, from Yomli Kanga Lawrence, coming down to Darrell Dillon, Desai Joseph, and all of those people, look, it's disappointing. So what are you announcing? I'm coming. Hold on. You're gonna have what are you announcing? And you try to say, okay, this is how I want to do it. That itself is like I took something here, I took a money here, and you know whatever I took here is illegal. It was in the writing, and you say, okay, even though you do it, but give me 1,000 of it, guys. We have to be honest with these people. People make mistakes, but it's good to when that happens to come out to say, hey, this is wrong. I acted stupid. I shouldn't have done this. The man, Sibu say, you're going to pay D2. So,
yeah,
these lawmakers, what is their own plan? What is their own agenda for fiscal year from year to year? They don't have anything. So right now, they begin to figure out, they begin to process, I will do this, I will do this. And then the worst of all, what is frustrating here, Mr. Todd, and you come in, is to make this sort of allotment and to say it is at your own discretion. They're not $5 you're giving to these people. It's government, it's taxpayer money. So it means we can't go back to them tomorrow to question them how it was used. Then I'm going to go back to their communities to engage the community, what is needed in the community. So they're going to use their own rightful mind. Okay, this is what good, whether the people needs it or not. They're going to impose their will. We don't know how much they're going to use, for God's sake.
So
yeah, go ahead, and I'll pick up. Yeah, go ahead.
The first thing I want to bring you is, why did you call 2 Liberty Party member and you only call 1 CDC member? I don't understand that logic. But anyway,
okay, Fanatic Kofa.
Fanatic Kofa is still Liberty Party.
Liberty Party or CDC?
Well, CDC now, but then you still come in my way. So, but anyway, that's besides the point, Mr. So look. Here's the thing here. The money issue, as far as I'm concerned, these people, the other $15,000, they're not going to go get it. They're not going to touch that anymore.
Are you sure?
They know now.
Are you sure?
No, I'm sure. They know.
That's where they must are going to fall apart.
They know now that Liberian people are truly against it. They're not going to.
Let them bring the money. You see, this is the right time to say, bring our money back. They need to bring, if they will not take the last one, why should they take the first one?
No. Well, the first one, we all know, we all recognize that it's even the second one. It's all legal, but as Mr. Joyce said, something that is illegal can also be something that is not morally correct to do. So, but here's the point that I want to make here: if this government, Syria, because Mr. So, right now we're just talking. This is all talk, but within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, the coronavirus is going to be pandemic in Liberia. There's no question asked. Why? Because it's rainy season. The sun is not coming up right now, so they're going to have a serious problem.
You know, you remind me, somebody was telling me, said, yeah, I was talking about it. Said, oh, the song, the Labrador song, yeah, not easy, man. The song will kill. Can you imagine people?
Yeah.
Is it a scientific method? Scientific.
Exactly. So once that, like I said, this one is not like Ebola, because what I know about Ebola, once you have, and I'm not scientific from what I've been reading, once you have Ebola, it's just a matter of time, just a matter of days, if not even hours, for people to recognize that you have it and they keep away from you. Whereas if you have the virus, nobody going to know within 14 days or so before the first symptom, according to reading, before the first symptom starts showing up. By that time, you have already spread it. And especially places like West Point, New Crew Town, Doe Community, Clark Town, all of these communities that are so bad. The
entire country is congested. You talking about
how you gonna do a contact tracing?
Let me go back to the
contact tracing. Now, let me hear now. Maybe I can say that I'm ready now to eat crow, because remember Jefferson Kochi bringing 15,000 people to do contact tracing, and we were all over the place on him. I think this time around, his 15,000 contact tracing personnel might not even be enough.
Okay. Let me go to this number here quickly. Okay, Paula, sorry for holding on here. 215, number 1595. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. So, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Anthony Gay, calling from the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay, Mr. Gay, welcome. What should we be doing now? What should be our priority concern?
First of all, here's the number one concern. Begin with the airport. At the airport, they're only concerned about the $75 United States per head that you pay for your coronavirus testing. They don't tell you whether you are negative or positive, and they allow you to enter the country. It has been reported, and it has been speculated as well, that multiple people came from India. And currently, as it stands, India is one of the hottest spots right now when it comes to COVID. If people from India were brought in the country, were tested, but never gotten a result, and they were never held, and they went into the community, then this is a recipe for disaster. Because even on Spoon Talk today, one of the hosts over there, Emmanuel, said he came from Ghana. He did a test in Ghana and got a result in Ghana before he left Ghana. But when he came to Liberia, he did a test and he never got any result. And been almost 2 weeks now, he never got any result. What a negative or positive. This man came from out of the country. Now, they're only concerned about receiving the $75. So if you have people who are just generating cash and not really following the health protocol, then we are heading for, you know, serious mess in our country. Now, one thing with this virus, it doesn't know government official, poor man and rich man, or whatever the case may be. Everybody's suffering from this thing worldwide. We saw the Prime Minister of England. We saw the Prime Minister of Brazil. I mean, nations across it, even the President of the United States.
Yeah, even Canada right here, my country was hit.
So here's the thing. Like you guys were talking about, you know, that the young circumstances. It is just very unfortunate that a lot of, you know, medical practitioners here in the United States who are Liberian, who have contact to various hospitals and various research centers, various pharmacy and all of the different things. We got pharmacy technicians all across the country here, you know. And so the only thing that we Liberians do most of the time is that this unnecessary proudness, this unnecessary arrogance that, oh, I will not seek for help because he's not the only person that knows it. Or when I gave him the opportunity, that's just for him to brag. This is a lot in depth circumstances we're talking about here. This is not about who takes the credit or not. This is about first preventing life. Prevention is better than the cure. We don't even have the facility, let alone the resources to even treat the sickness. So the first thing we gotta do is to prevent people from attracting the disease. That's the first and foremost thing. And that's the best way of stopping any form of pandemic or epidemic. You know, you cannot sit there and pretend that you don't need help. No, you need help. Because we don't even have the first ventilator in Liberia, let alone, you know, a national registry to catalog all of those things. The security don't even have a command center. So you have a very vulnerable country in terms of national security, in terms of pandemic, in terms of so many aspects. The economy, everything is like going hectare-scatter. Right now, we need to swallow our pride and come together as one nation and do what we can do best and help our country.
Okay.
And if anyone from the government is listening to this, that's all you need to do. Swallow your pride, seek help when help is needed, and reach out to people who can help. There are people who, before there was a place already built by the NHL in Liberia for every, you know, emergency circumstances after the Ebola. President Obama during his regime, they sent people over to build a spot. But when President Weah came into office, all of those people that were well treated, they let them go. I don't know how you can operate like that. There are certain people you don't just change. You don't just change certain people. Those people are not political appointees. You need them for time like this. So, you know, this is what I really want to say to that effect.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to the guys. Gentlemen, you heard Mr. Gay. So the issue of this $75 and all of that, is it working? What are they considering?
Mr. So, here's the thing. The last time I heard, like DJ was talking something that they don't know where the money going. You pay $75 to come in and you pay $75 to leave. So that's $150. But where is that money going? They said they don't know. So these are serious problems. And yeah, is the thing. The government said one time they are putting for some ventilators. So I want to know from the Ministry of Information, what are those ventilators came to the country and how many were they? How much they pay? Because I think they were arranging, they said price was like 17,000 or something. Where are the ventilators? Now, you can have, because you have the ventilator, you also have the extra, the ordinary oxygen. Now, but here's the thing here. This thing needs current, 24 hours to have someone on a ventilator. Do we have the stable current? These are the critical issues. Because they don't just go and plug ventilator on the wall and just put it on, it uses current. And do we have oxygen in Liberia? Oxygen, do we have enough oxygen in Liberia? When the people mask, someone told me they went to the hospital, no mask, they gotta go to pharmacy to look for masks to buy. Can you imagine? This is a serious problem. So the government said they ordered ventilators the last time. Where are those ventilators? The oxygen, why the current? Do we have the current to keep the hospital running 24 hours? When you put people on oxygen, do they have oxygen in time? So These are the enormous problems the country is facing. What can we do now?
I'm wondering here, has it provided explanations in terms of this COVID money here? How is it being used? Is it a supplementary? What is it? Because I remember the House, they were also making an argument they don't know.
Yeah.
They said they don't know where the money is going. So
Yeah.
why would that happen?
Lack of responsibilities.
It's not, if they don't know, it means, my own limited understanding here, it means it's not going to government revenue. Whatever that is being collected through government agency, it should go to government revenue. You should have a flag receipt. People should know what that money is for. But if they do not know, if the lawmakers do not know, and there are Senate committee, House committees responsible with oversight responsibility. So if they do not know, then who will know?
Well, that's why I'm telling you, Mr. So, the country is rotting with corruption. The country is rotting because the House has an oversight committee on healthcare.
That's what Gretchen's Kennedy is asking. What happened
So
to the
why they cannot call the committee? Why they cannot call the committee on healthcare to ascertain from them this revenue being collected? Where is it going? Why the House committee cannot do that? It's the responsibility of the oversight committee to do that. They're sending that to the Freeport, the CTM. They say they don't know where the money going. So it means that people are collecting the money and just pocketing it, and the Liberian people continue to suffer. This is what we're seeing. This is institutional corruption and systematic way of destroying the Liberian people. I know people, they might not like it, but this is it. Because when you are collecting some of money and people are telling you that they don't know what happened to the money, and nobody can come up and address the public to say, no, let me get clarity. This is where the money going. Nobody. Then where is the transparency? How can the people rely on you people? Now, how can you go and explain to someone in West Point or in Swakoko about 15,000 that you receive that you can use the way you want it? So how can that person question you? These are the way that these people are doing. If I have my will, all those senators or representatives will return that money. That money can be used now.
So that's what Cummings is saying. The
yes.
Liberal.
They should return
the Liberal, are you there?
Yes.
You're talking with
What's your question?
You're talking with your partisan or what? No, Cummings is saying that the folks should return the 15K.
Yeah, but I don't think Cummings has a standing. Morally he does.
What are you talking
but
about?
He does not have a standing.
He doesn't have a standing of what?
He does not have the standing to demand that the lawmakers turn the money back. He can demand that. Morally, he can. But legally, these people have that. This is legal money that they have given, and the government has given it to them. I don't care however way, whether they put it in there or not, the government has given it to them. The only thing that the Liberian people would now demand is that they should not touch the next $15,000. That's it. They shouldn't touch.
But they have to distinguish. You see, you guys are some of the people that are the problem of what we are talking. They shouldn't is 30,000. They divide it into portion. They take 15. It's legal. Okay, that's an arguable point because it's being put there. They put it there. They cleverly put it there. Nobody knew about it. They never. I can't remember any of them, and they can't tell me. And all of 102 or 3, they can't tell me it was their first time hearing about it. Getting the money. That's not true. I can't. It's just I can't believe that. And I don't believe that any of them ever went back to their constituency and tell them, say, this is so money. They ask all to use it when we get it. So this community A, community B, if I get my 15,000 or 30,000, what can we do there? Nobody has provided an explanation. Now I'm hearing from you saying, and that's the behaviors of the liberal people, they believe in wasteful spending at the expense of the taxpayer, cavings, dividing money all over the place, all over the places here, who People who work for it, they don't get it. They get it. You're telling me now they must take the first 15, but it's the last 15 they shouldn't take. That's the difference with the first and the 15. Let me get the caller here while you're going through your answers here. Okay, 701 number 2198. Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
Good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is George. I'm calling from North Dakota.
Okay, George, welcome. Go ahead. What's the point?
Yeah, I'm listening to the show. I always listen to you guys on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
My thing here is that Liberia, sometimes we all talk about Liberia. We all talk about things going on. We heard our head every day for one story over and over and over. And I don't know, things doesn't seem to be going right in our country. The government, this whole thing, the government sat there and people talk about it. They saw how other countries were going through this thing. They saw even in America. I work in a health field and I see how coronavirus treat people. And I was telling my people back home and they were all like, oh, no coronavirus here. The president left and went on a county tour. Nobody wearing masks around him. All those things that were going on. And it's so ironic that after these people, all these things that were going on, I know some people will listen to this and say, no, it is not it. But to my own belief or my own observation, when these delegates that came and left, as soon as they left and went back to Liberia, coronavirus business started. As soon as they left, they got back. 130 persons ran away from the treatment center. How in the world will 130 persons run away from a coronavirus treatment center in Liberia? How? Even if the vaccine they got in Liberia, how are they storing those vaccines? Because those vaccines need to be stored in a particular way. What the electricity they got in that place to keep those vaccines stored? You go to the airport, it's chaos. I know a lot of people that came from Liberia and they talk about how things are run at the airport. And it's so disgusting. It hurts to see our country going down like this, and we continue to talk this one thing over and over, and it's like a dropping on dog's back. Nobody listening. You know? Nobody. Like today, I listened to Sky FM. This guy, where they had this show they called Nothing to Hide or so. Mm-hmm. And they were pressing the fund administrator about they got $100 million that they signed with World Bank that coming up. So Liberia was just be boring, just crediting money. And I told the guy on the show, I said, there's money. You come into here another noise. They come and steal that money. They come in and steal that money because nothing good they're going to do with that money. Nothing good they're doing for the country, but to just steal. Why our country should be like this? It's like a lady that have 10 children, and out of that 10, one child must be the problem child. What did we do? What is going on? What did we do to deserve this? I know God saying, hearing can say that and say, you know what? This problem child, I'm tired with it. Because all these things you guys will talk on this show and all the platforms, nothing is happening. It's like these people don't listen.
We are wasting water. We are wasting water on dog back, eh?
Yes, because you just waste your time. You just waste your time. You just talk and talk and talk, and nothing will happen. And the same Liberian people will get up and fight for these same people, put them right back in power. The opposition. That's why I tell people I don't support anybody. Opposition, ruling party, I don't support because all of them is same.
That's a fact, and that's what I say here. Come and join my party. All of them the same.
The same thing. Nothing. They only want power. When you give them power,
right down now.
This man is not doing this. This person is not doing this. Give them the same power. As soon as you give them power, now they roll their glass up. They drive in black cars.
I know.
Why?
Believe me, even when we say, Judge, we are resigned, I say you put a group in there, oh my goodness, hell gonna break loose.
falling down. The opposition are passing around, making a lot of noise. You put them there, they're going to be the same thing. They're going to even do worse than what the government is doing now.
Okay.
They're going to do worse. Why should it be like this? You know, it's so frustrating, man.
They think I'm telling you, I mean, yeah, I get my top.
Government after government, government after government. Why is it that we cannot put the right people in power? As soon people
How do we even go about to determine who is right and who is wrong right now with this?
The thing. That's the thing. You look at somebody who been living in kitchen, never even own a taxi before I say a bicycle. You take this man, you give him a power. You give this man. There's a man that I knew who was the seal senator for Buffalo. We all used to live in Sinker. The man when this man key America, this man told me to my face when I saw $1 million the first time I started trimming. So you take these people, you put them into power. What do you expect these people to do? They're not going to look after you.
I think one of the senators was saying, "I'm not carrying that money back. It belongs to me. I'm taking it. In fact, going ahead to do what I'm supposed to do."
Yeah, and it's not wrote on his page.
Yeah.
Saying that if people don't want the money, then you should bring it to me. Why you must mark the Liberian people? That's marking people.
But that's
15,000 each.
Yeah.
So do what you don't even know where the heck you put the money in the budget for. Liberian budget is always the same every year after year.
My man, we're not. Hello.
Yeah.
I beg you, we're not getting insurance here. Don't carry a pressure all day even.
I know
Don't let the pressure and the cholesterol go up here before we get lost. No, this is so frustrating. I saw that this is a guy who, I mean, it's just everybody, all of them. I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say. Thank you so much. Let me go back to my phone.
I tell people, I say, I want to find the injury that took our claim to God. We want to ask him, what would tell to you? God, when you talk about our claim to him, to make us, what would tell to you? We should be an example.
I know. I hope that our Labra may have some kind of affair with Mary and God and that's fine and we can. All right, my man, I'll talk to you. Bye. Oh, my man. Look, for joy, Mr. Toe. Hello?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Toe.
No, I was going to say
people are downhearted, people are frustrated, and then when we see the bickering, the divisiveness amongst the politicians themselves, all because of what is in for them, I don't know. I don't know how we can do it. I don't know how we can get it out because these people, they are not showing any signs of people with conscience. They just do not care. And maybe I can spell it out, capital CARE. I'm not gonna do it the OVE and I'm not gonna I'm a man say wait, you say how you spell it on OV. I'm not gonna go that route. But the behavior of these people, I just don't understand.
And here's the thing, Mr. So look at Evan Snow. If even is that how you talk to the people that if they don't want the money, they will bring it to you. This is
but they may get 9 years. He get 9 years to stay there. So where he get to lose? Nothing.
Yeah. But you know, they have made their life. They have made their life all at the expense of Liberian people. So now they don't care. One, he got 9 years, so he's very arrogant now. But his family are in America, going to all the good school, living a good life. They don't think about the people that they represent. Now telling the people if they don't want the money, I'll bring it. Man, the people in Burma, how many they can eat? How many they live on $5 a day? How many they got good hospitals? How many they got good safe drinking water? And you taking $15,000, then you have the audacity to tell people if they don't want me, they will bring it to me. That is a complete slap in the face of the Liberian people. This money is not your personal money, it's the money for the country that you are taking. And there's no justifiable reason for this money. You can say whatever you want to put in the budget. Yes, every year this money comes. I mean, this money, because they say they are not received for the past 3 years. But every budget they will still put that same line there. Why they didn't tell the librarian that this is such a benefit we'll be getting? No, because they know that the blowback will be too high. So they kept on the roll. And this is what it get to me. Why would the Minister of Finance disburse the kind of money to the people when the country, when some of the people are not taking pay? Why would you disburse the kind of money to the people? Because you want certain things to be accomplished. So now you're giving them. The people say they're not getting gas allowance for 4 or 6 months. So, okay, why not getting the gas allowance? And that would be legitimate something. But you take 15,000 and give it to somebody to say they're going or the consultant tour or whatever. I don't know whether your senator going to grant there for consultancy, because I know mine, he go to Bongande, he go there and drain the power and come back. These are the things the people are doing to the country. These people yesterday who were in the rain, who were in the sun, chanting that that government was very corrupt. They were evil. They did not see the plight of the Liberian people. We are coming there to make sure this thing will not happen. Now they give you power. You say, oh, you know what? You probably know how to steal, but now we will teach you how to steal. You're robbing the people out of the resources. And you people expect some of us to say, oh, it's legal. Because you do something, you think every time people do is right, you say illegal. It's not right. And that's my argument I own made. Yeah, something can be legal and done, but it's more than wrong. And this is it. Yeah, it's the outbreak of coronavirus in Liberia. Where is the money coming from now to say, oh, we're going to equip this hospital? If you put $1.7 million, if you put a GFK, the $40 million hospital, you don't think we're getting the hospital that facelift for people to go there to be treated? No. So how you going to these people with $15,000 in your pocket? What are you going to tell them? What the money for? I mean, you say that you can use that at your own discretion. And let me say this. Senator Dillon, you are absolutely wrong to say you want to choose to build a library. No. If you were to say anything, I think you would say you're going back to the people to tell us what they want to do. But you can't choose where to build a library when you have not consulted the people. In fact, if the money, or if at all, you wanted to use it that way. You cannot just get and say, I want to do this. And because this is why the representative said they can use it at their own discretion. So nobody can question them. And this is the corrupt part of the whole thing. $30,000 to go to someone to use it at their own discretion. The other woman saying from Bonkande, she want to pin the high school. The other man said want to make some black and also some bites. What is that? What impact? You got Phoebe Hospital, the referral hospital, no highlight line, no current. And you taking $30,000 and put it in your pocket, or $15,000. How many people? So 900 some more thousand people go to that hospital, and there's no light, nothing there. But you got to attach them to take that money and come to tell you defend it because it's illegal. Is that a justification? Is it legal? So we're taking it? These people, and we're telling these voters, Liberian people, if you don't wake up, the people you call your own children, they will kill you people slowly. And they are killing you people because of the financial grief. They are killing you people because nobody in a rightful mind will take that kind of money when his county or his district does not have safe drinking water. If you want to help, why they going to put that money in the national budget? So again, go to the county directly to do something that everybody will benefit from. Why you can't put it in the national budget? But you take it and put it aside to say it's my tour. How many times people go for legislative engagement in the country? You go agriculture, the government pay you. Why are you taking the extra money for? And they give it to you. Then is that justification given to the Liberian people? It's legal. Then the executive.
So let me ask this, and this is just off the line here. You think Yaga Kolba gonna get that 15,000 too?
Well, let him come.
We need to know.
Yeah, let him come. I'll see what he'll take it. But the idea is now who's going to get it. The idea the money should not be taken back. They should return the money. Bottom line here. Because it's robbing the Liberian people. What's the benefit of the money? For them to go use it to entertain their girlfriends? That's it.
Oh, here we go. Joseph Wakai.
Yeah, but I mean,
Joseph Wakai.
They're going to use it to entertain their girlfriend. I'm not saying they came from away, but that is the fact. That is the fact.
Sure.
If you give me money that I cannot comfort to you, what do you think I want to do with that money? You can decide I can go and furnish my girlfriend home. That my owner like the tour.
yeah, I mean, as you said, the Pokemon use it for their own discretion.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but we don't know whether these people are going to whether they have girlfriend in the first place. That's not what we do here. So a lot of times
I call nobody.
So I'm not sure. This article here from the analyst, and just what we are saying, that's what I said yesterday. The argument of Senator Dillon, it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
See that his press conference, there's some sort of guiltness in it. Yes, we appreciate you came out, but look, you can't be in two places at the same time.
No.
You can't want to put your hands so, put your foot so, and do it. You expose it, don't take it. You take it, you want to supervise it. Then how can you do that? This look at this article.
I really don't know how much more to defend this thing here.
It's not a matter of
explaining.
It's not a matter of defending.
But I've already tried to disabuse you guys.
Yeah,
the young man came out, the good senator came out and took responsibility.
So, something. This is a 17 edition that from the analyst. I pressed a call to his political advisor, political officer, Ibe Plakit, and they are now saying that he demanded cash instead of a check. So I haven't seen him reacting to this.
Look, Mr. So
here come the sedition. We'll soon be going there anyway.
Yeah.
What a down there announcing, he denied announcing. The crux of the matter is morally wrong for these people to accept this money. So let it all return it. Period. These people are exploiting the Liberian people. They must return this money. The people are suffering. This money can be directed towards healthcare, to buy some other equipment, sanitizer and things to help the people. But this money, the reason they're taking it for is not justifiable to me. So nobody should come here to tell me, say, it's justified because it's legal, it was put there. It was put there, but it was wrongly done. You put there intentionally to exploit the Liberian people. That's what they did. They have all seen that budget line.
Yeah.
3 years it's been going through. It's something they were waiting for. It will come one day. When it comes, man, that the one will blow again. Now this is it now. But we gotta continue to make the noise that they must return this money. And if innocent are holding, we should mark them for the next election.
Wow. So okay, let's bring our man here. So I don't know how true it is, but I'm hoping for you to get a press briefing. The law being before the media. If this guy demanded cash as being reported by the analyst newspaper, then that's a troubling news. They need to get that money back.
How is that troubling? Illegal is illegal. It's not illegal to
do
cash.
So why he want cash? Why will you give you cash?
Why doesn't he want cash? What do you want to do with Liberian check?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Namba. How are you?
All right, I'm okay. And Mr. George and Mr. To, happy to happy evening.
Thank
you.
Now I have a question on this legislative engagement, funding. And my question is, this thing have been discovered, and we heard it through Darius Dillon. We all condemn it. My question is, what is the way forward? How can we stop this from going forward?
The way forward, not do like this.
If we receive 15,000, they might be getting another more 15,000, which will equivalent to 900,
yeah,
almost is million. We don't know. I don't know about it.
They get the same thing. The same thing.
But my question is, how does the opposition speak on this when in the people in the house already received that money? How can Young Kanka speak against it?
I think Mr. Toe needs to answer that question, and that's what. And so I think, Uncle Sam, I think that's one. Then Alexander Cumming got it right, and Darius Dillon tried to take a shot at Alexander Cumming that he's not informed. He needs to talk to his ANC people. So it brings into mind the authenticity, Mr. And just you, Papa, tell me if I'm going wrong. The authenticity and the genuineness of this collaboration, because I want to believe all of these things. This is what they knew, and that's why they in their collaboration they created it. Okay, even though we are collaborating, but we can make it. You can say whatever you know you are a political party on your own. Then what is the essence of the collaboration? By this time, they should have one spokesperson on this sort of critical issue to come. I saw
we are collaborating
together yesterday, and I mean, we are
collaborating to defeat CDC, Mr. So.
How can we believe in them? In as much we want to get George we are out of our way, so how can we embrace them? This sort of thing. Normally, Kanga Lawrence, who should be a standard bearer for Liberty Party. We're not even hearing anything.
Not up, Vice President Boyka. If I'm not mistaken, Unity Party had.
Look, I don't want to sound ridiculous here. The reason people are pushing Joseph Boyka here, they want to have another type of the very same man, Nathaniel Maggie, the Samuel Tuwe, the Jefferson Koji we are crying on. That's why some of these people, and that's why George Lobo then said, look, you need to be thinking about your own political future. Why you want to? These people want to have Joseph Boyka, so they were having like a toy and pushing left and right and say, we the one get you to be in this place here, and whatever we say, you have to follow us. That's all what they are doing. They don't need. They don't want somebody who's going to stand up to them.
No. More will be Minister of State for President.
Well, that's their business. We don't entertain for us here. Sorry to say, we don't entertain. We tell people what they need to know. We're not abusing people here. What the people they kept doing for to Liberia is bad. All right, we are seeing what happening here. There are few people that just feel that whatever they say is that it, and that's why they kept pushing here. With up to this time, they can't come up with who's going to be their standard bearer. They're fighting here and there. It's still soon and all of that, trying to confuse people. I'm not going to buy into that. They make no difference. They're going to even be worse than George Weah if we give them the opportunity. Samson Toh can't say anything here because his Liberty Party, what his name said, the Kanga Lawrence, and all of them, they are all connived with the CDC. With a sedition, so I don't know how can you make this sort of argument now with
Mr. So.
Right. Thank you so much.
I have a question for Mr. Boyka tomorrow.
Where you have? Oh, okay. But Boyka,
will he stay able to maintain that legislative, engagement funding if he comes to power?
Oh, hopefully these are critical questions that when people ask. And even if I had a chance to ask him, I would ask him, even if he were elected tomorrow, if he becomes the CPP candidate, will he audit the very government? We saw in Kenya after Mukafoli, the vice president, who was vice president of Mukafoli, is now carrying on audit exercise. Will he audit the very government that he works for? Or we just going to put it on Helen Johnson's leave?
No, but Mr. So. They need to ask me those who can afford to ask him if we ever received 15,000.
I'm happy, if they can receive it, what will they do if they come to power? Can they stop it now? Or can they go ahead when all of them giving justification? It was legitimate money, it was allocated. Who allocated it? They were the same people who allocated. There's no check and balance in that.
Yeah,
you can't be the one who make the decision, receive it, and you said you may report out of it. It makes no difference.
So is it fair to if we even ask Senator Dillon and all of the people, or we bundle all of the people that are spineless, because those are the things that they were doing, and those sort of words were used. So is he part of that spineless group now, or what?
Yeah, the words that they're going to be hearing here because
thank you so much.
If you return the money, I will withdraw my word.
Look, politics, you got to be very careful. You got to be careful. It's consensus building. And so sometimes when you get ahead of your shadow, you quickly to entangle yourself. Better late than never. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, thank you for having me. I had some of the technicians here at the communities trying to fix some lines, so I couldn't get online. Even though they informed me, weeks ago. But look, I just got the information that our internet wasn't working. But Lord, thank you for the show, and I've been listening. And I think we got a long way to go because the hypocrisy is too much, and it has to come to an end because that's the only way Liberia will progress. For the fact of the matter is that yesterday I listened to Costa, and he was chastising Mrs. Buto, I think from Cape Mount or Bombay County or somewhere. Bapolo, yeah. Yeah, say what does she have to offer, to the Senate, from selling dry meat? What is the transition? What does she bring
I
to the
believe they
table?
raised fund for her, right? Or in
Yeah, they did. And that's what I'm saying. Because of the hate for that regime, people will create some nonsense and sell it to the Liberian people, and they will hold it only because of hate. We're not rational in our arguments. People will say things only because I don't like Mr. Toe, I will join them instead of rationalizing what a person is saying about Mr. Toe, even though Mr. Toe is not my friend. But what this person is saying is irrational. They will not do it. Now we have this lady in the Senate for 9 years only because we fail to use our brains instead of and use our emotions, and that's what's happening. And look, for the $15,000, I want this guy to return it. I learned that Senator Didon took 7,500 to the Maserado health team to give to them to see what they can do with it. But I think that's not the way forward. If Senator Dillon and others love Liberia, they should have taken that money back into the covers for it to be reallocated to something else to be done for Liberia instead of taking the
But so
money and going and
what
share the money itself. And to the caller who asked the question,
so your
who asked the
political
question
leader will
about
continue to be. Wida,
no,
can you
no.
hear me?
Let me just say this thing quick before you can come in, Mr. To the caller who said the government should Joe Boakai, when he comes to power, he will maintain the 15,000 or the $30,000 per senator. I will tell you your answer is right here. The president is not the one who put the money into the budget. People need to know this. Those senators put the money there. Let me tell you what happens.
Hold on, wait,
If
hold on.
no, let me finish. You will come. If they make their own budget, right? They put the money there and they approve it. They send or they pass it. They send it to the president. If the president said no and send it back to them, say okay, take the 30,000 there. They would not want to approve it. How will the government run? They will hold the government hostage. That's the whole technicality, but people don't know. These people are the one. These guys are the one that are rotting our country. Those guys in the Senate and in the legislature. These guys are the ones that are not doing the right thing. If they are doing the right thing, we'll not have these things happening in our country. Because let me tell you, a president is not a problem. The legislature are the problem.
Hold on there, Wida. Mr. Told you
Yeah.
coming. Just let me tell you, man. Wida,
Yes, sir.
how much money is allocated for the president allowances in that budget? Is it legitimate?
Yes. Even this 15 or 30,000 is legitimate.
For the president?
I'm being fair here.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
the money.
It's more than 30,000 for the president. It's more than 30,000 for the president office.
Yes.
For
It should be.
entertainment and everything.
It
You
should
think
be.
that
Yeah.
money is legitimate. Look at the condition of the country.
Look, we can look at. Yeah,
Yes,
what you want me to give you an answer, right? So you gotta wait for me. Yeah, wait for me. Let me give you the answer. Look, we can look at the technicality of the money being much or high or whatever, but it's legitimate that the president should have this money allocated to him because he can be audited. Those guys in the
When
Senate,
last they audited
they cannot be audited. What?
When last they audited Martian?
Look, the executive mansion. If you want to audit, if you want to audit president office, look, this is not argument. If they don't want to audit him, that does not mean that they cannot audit him.
No, we don't. You just can't eradicate the Senate, and you put your president way up there. And
No, I did not.
No, hold on.
I did not.
You did.
I did not.
You did. You said it's not the president. It's the guy in the Senate. The executive. 300 some more thousand allocated to one ministry. No justification.
No, there's justification. That's why you get it wrong. That's why you need to learn these things. There's justification. That money is for consultancy. If you don't use it, it will go back in the look. I've dealt with budgets. I've dealt with budgets, and I'm telling you that if you don't use it, you send it back to the coffers.
Okay, let me go to missing here. And, you got a little bit coming on here. So we're going to be wrapping. Oh yeah, y'all hold on 1 second. Missing, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. So I'm here.
Okay, go ahead quickly. We're almost out of time here, in fact.
Yeah, I was really hoping to send you a text early, but I kind of slipped into some kind of funny sleep. Mr. So it's kind of ironical when I hear Wheeler comparing and saying that the president money is different, the president can be audited. Look, this is wasted water under the bridge. The thing about it is they say constituencies engagement in project. Let us look at the senators from the different counties and let us consider the legislative caucus. So if you consider the money given to these guys, and if, like you guys saying, sometimes when I hear people say, return the money back to the national coffers, return the money to the national coffers, I laugh. Because when the money goes to the national coffer, what will the national government do with it? Everybody will come back to start looking for this money with flashlight. In the sun, hot sun, you will let matches stick to look for the money with hot sun.
Where did it come from? Where did it come from? Where did it come from?
Money distribution. When that money gets to these people, they need to go to their caucus and decide, put all the money for each county together and decide what they're going to do with it in the caucus, in the county to benefit the people. That's the constituent.
That's not their job. That's not their job.
If they will come together and use the money for that point, it's good. But if they want to use it for individual, where I got my own, like Sir Joseph said on our Spoon Show, I'm going to pay $2,000 for somebody who owe money and release them from jail. What does that benefit the most of other people? What does that benefit them? And without you wrong, each one of those people can be audited for that money. Each one of them.
Who?
Each one of them can be audited.
No, but how can you audit them when? Hold on, no. How can you audit them when you said it is at their own discretion?
At their own discretion.
No, what?
That is simply the president's office.
Does not mean you put it.
No, that's not it.
No, there is no provision. No, there is no
use for the people.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you take the money and go pay your house, or you take the money and go use it for your personal interest.
They have said no, but the other thing you are inserting into it now is you're going to do it. But all of them who have spoken, they have said this is why they do not have a strategic plan. They are just getting things out of their head.
Exactly.
I will do this. I will pay in school. I will bear this. If you had that, first and foremost, Mr. Mason, all of these things who have been outlined there, the fiscal year, this is our representative, our social senator, this is my agenda for the fiscal year, blah, 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 because I will be receiving 30K, 15K. And then perhaps we'll know where to find it, either on their Facebook pages, website, which of course is a disgrace. The people, the parliament doesn't even have a website. You got to call 555 people to get access to their contact and all of that. So these are all tactics they have created on purpose so that you and I, you're telling the man is at your own discretion. The man does not present any agenda to you. There is no blueprint of how he or she going to use the 15,000. So on what basis you're going to audit the person? Nothing.
That's the whole thing. And a lot of people don't know. And Mr. So.
Yeah. Go ahead, make your point quick before we wrap up.
Audit is done based on expenditure. It's not done based on projected expenditure. It's done based on.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
This money given you, how you spend it, account for it. That's audit. 1, 2. Let us just be understand something.
But why were you? My question here: why were you disburse such a money without when you? How do you go about to make a requisition if you were a manager of a place? Okay, let me ask you. If you're a manager, you can get to the post. I need $5,000. You can't tell them why you need a $5,000 for.
Oh, you tell people what you need a $5,000 for.
And then why we accompanied that you don't have an outline as to how that 5,000 going to be dispensed by you.
Oh, you don't. Your outline is given to the company. Now you got to understand something, Mr. So. You are talking about something that we need to correct. Had this thing not been brought up, would we have known about this $30,000?
That's not
arguable. That brought out here is just
come on.
Mr. So, why we complaining these guys for taking $30,000? Your president went and spent $104,000 in local country party for one night. $104,000.
These are complete lies.
We are not talking about that.
Well,
$104,000.
Forget about the president out of the thing. Let's talk about the legislature. That's what
I agree. I agree. It's wrong.
Can I forget the president?
Let me.
Because for you are wanting the president. We are not wanting the president. We are talking about 15,000. The president did not take 15,000.
The president took
The
more
president
than
did
that.
not take 15,000.
The
All the
president took more than
parties
that.
of course come together, put the money in one place and use it for the county.
All right. Okay.
So, Mr. So, let me make something clear, please.
so-
Let me make something clear. Our financial management, the financial management plan of the country does not give the legislature any power to expend money. They cannot expend money. The only people who are giving government money to spend, the managers to expend money, taxpayer money, they are the people in the executive. The executive. Only the executive branch of government can expend taxpayer money. We can only pay legislature to do a piece of job. We do not give them money to carry on any development. If they want to do it at their own,
allotment being made to these people for whatever reason, I don't understand.
Because they shouldn't be having any taxpayer money to do any project. No,
the executive branch is in cahoots with the House.
they are not. Even they are. So they okay. You want to tell me that the government, the legislature or the executive will say we want to get in cahoots with you. So yes, money. They will go to them.
No, but yeah, is the thing here. Fair to mention.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Always have this sort of, even here, they always have this sort of backing. But it's not with our own. The second thing,
the financial management law does not give legislature any power to expend money. They cannot expend our taxpayer money.
Listen, it doesn't. But why would the executive continue to disburse that kind of money?
Because they put it in the budget. They want it.
No,
it's a law. If the government, if the executive does not give them that money, that means they're breaking the law. The executive are breaking the law.
The executive is part of the coup because a minister gets 300 some more thousand.
I know you want to bring the executive in there, even if you are looking at it glaring.
Gentlemen,
you want to bring the executive in. We are talking about these people. They are not legitimate people to spend our money. They shouldn't be giving this money, but they put it there. They want it because they are corrupt.
Hello.
But they allotted the executive also certain amount of money.
That's why I tell you, executive should be the one that will have the money.
Okay,
so executive should be the one that what the financial law says.
Yeah, is the deal. My hair is freaking pounding right now with this whole thing here. I don't want to collapse here while on air here, honestly, because the behavior of our people is just insane. It's ridiculous. It is absurd to see the way that they are behaving. Here we are now in the middle of this crazy virus and all of that. I mean, both sides, nothing is arguable. They need to, I don't know. They need to carry that money back. They need to carry that money. It's just so bad to see what is happening right now.
All the ministers,
and I wanted to see what they were listening. I want to see what they were listening to Cummings.
No,
I don't know.
Dylan.
Yeah,
Dylan, I come to slam comment. I come in, I go and talk to his people. But Dylan, you say you have interpreted. And you took that money, knowing that it was legal, but wrong. Look at the country today. You are not the one to go get money to help things. That's not your job.
Exactly.
The money should have been put in the national budget for every county so they can.
Now he giving it to the health team. Why the one that he took? Why he giving supervision? He said, "You're not going to give it to the county superintendent because he does not believe in the people." But this one, you're trying to draw a fine line. It's just
politics.
These people need advisor. These people need advisor. Something told you are folding your hand. We are for
the Liberty Party, man.
USA. Liberty Party, USA. We need to call Nyomdi Kanga Lawrence. We need to, Widow, you need to call all your seditions friends.
I've called all of them. I want them to bring the money back.
No, but did they take the giving it back, Widow?
No, none of them want to give it back.
Samson, have you placed a phone call?
To Fanatic Kofa?
Fanatic Kofa.
Mr. So, I am trying my best to conserve my energy for tomorrow morning. That's
another
time. I'm not in the business of trying to argue something that is legal and try to say who's wrong or right. Yeah, I let Wida and Mr. George do that for us. I'm not going to waste my energy on that.
Let me get it. In a nutshell, you plead the fifth, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Let me bring you on the screen. Let the people see you and you answer that question.
The way you put your hands in.
And you plead the fifth. Mr. Liberty Party man. Oh my goodness. Look, gentlemen, we gotta go. Tomorrow I'm gonna be hosting Yacindy of ANC. People say she's divisive. People say her voice is too extreme. We're going to discuss some critical issue, and then Sunday we're going to be back here. But Monday at 12 noon, I'm going to be hosting Dr. Dubert Nyant, the scientist. He's going to be our guest. Guys, honestly, my hair is bursting. We got to. I'm not going to make my cholesterol to go over the roof here and stuff for people. We're not even going to get it. They're not going to. I don't understand. They don't listen to people cry. No. Now, these things goes out within the international cycle, within the diplomatic enclave, and yet you say you don't have money. I want to hear what Joseph Boyka would say. I hope they're asking the question as a major political party leader who is part of the collaboration, who is also making preparation to unseat this government. And that's where all of our forces are going, because we are complaining these people are not doing it. So if you're not working a good work, then you create apprehension. Yeah, we have something to here now. This beautiful Friday evening, pleading the fifth.
But I want to know what I
want to give you a chance for the second time. Any change in position?
No, yes.
What? I'm not hearing you.
No.
No what?
I stick my position.
Exactly.
You in the fifth?
Yes.
On the 15K?
No.
We should have known now.
Mr. So, let me give it to you straight. Honorable, let me listen to me now. Listen to the word carefully. Honorable Senator Dallas Dillon did nothing wrong. It might not pass a smell test, but everything is legal. Now, does it mean that it was immoral? Well, I will let the clergy people decide that. But as far as things are concerned right now, Honorable Dillon did a wonderful job. He's a light. Look how much we've been on this thing here, 2 days in a row. Senator Dillon has shown so much light in the Senate. We should be grateful to have Senator Dillon. We should be thankful to Senator Dillon for shining the light in the Senate. Please leave Senator Dillon alone.
Not him alone. We are talking to all of them. All of them. All of them. All of them.
Let me tell you, Mr.
So, let me just say something quickly. Look, I don't think it's enough to be a light now. Look, we said this thing during the elections that going to the Senate to shine a light is like unearthing things that you cannot solve. You know what I mean? I was talking about the lawless power of a senator to consult, to form a consensus with his friends, to change things for our country. But if you went to the Senate to say, I will shine light on everything, it's not enough for Liberia. We want something to change.
I tried my best.
We want something to change. We don't want you to shine light on everything and you cannot solve any of it. It's a waste of our time and our money.
Mr. Wida, to come at this late hour and try to say that Senator Dillon lied, it's not enough. That's laughable. That's laughable. From CDC, sedition that used to go around with cat stick in your hand, and now you're talking about the lie being laughed. That's laughable. Second thing, Mr. Wheeler, if Senator Dillon said he wants to form consensus, with who? With Sir Joseph?
Of course, yes.
With who? With Abachi?
Yes.
All of the people that got who? My own friend Milton Tiaji. Please give me a break.
Be alive in the darkness. Change the situation. Change the situation. Don't get in the. Don't be alive and then you go in the dark and you cannot shine. You don't change anything. Because the light is to change the atmosphere. He's not changing anything. They're still taking the same money. Everything that used to happen before he came there is still happening. What is the change he has brought? By just shining light to say, oh no, here's the other one, here's the other one. You are not changing it. It's a waste of our money and our time. We don't come here every day to talk about why he shine light on. What is he doing to change it? He's not doing anything.
Before we go,
but let me just tell you, just take a step back. You were supporting Thomas Fala from the CDC,
Yes.
because that was citizen there. Thomas Fala, who took
ATM machine?
ATM machine, who received money from the Ministry of Internal Affairs under the pretext that he was providing free scholarship to the students of that institution. That is one of the most incorrupt attitude of your member. So don't talk about something that they don't have not going to take money on behalf of people and told them something else. He talked
George,
about it.
if you want to talk about that, let me try to educate you.
Hold on. We talk about it. The money that they don't talk about, we say that he made a pronouncement. We say it was wrong. But Tamafala told students he was providing free education and received money from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. That in essence is one of the corrupt attitude of the CDC lawmaker. So why you want to come and talk about the other like that?
No, but let me put something out there. What's about the other guy from I don't call it Nukuta? Abu Kamara. He got paid for the money to pay his time. You don't want my bank account is. We not use money.
So money doublers.
Okay, look, let me say something quickly. Let me say something quickly, Mr. Stone, before we go. Look, it's laughable. It's laughable that Pat George is talking about Representative Fala going to Internal Affairs and taking money. We did not see any student. We did not see any student that complained that happened. These are things that people use politically to destroy their friends. I don't think there is any reason for me to believe that if it happened, if it actually happened, which this one is alleged because
you didn't see the document that was displayed, and Tamafa, he never denied it.
Okay, gentlemen.
All right, look.
You know what?
I'm not going to go there because I think that's just allegations. That's political talk. That's political talk. If it comes that students come and say we are not having a scholarship that we were paid for, then we can talk about it.
Oh yeah, all of your folks out there, they are all money doublers. You remember that Batimo's stuff? So it's just disappointing. I'm wondering. I don't know how.
Gold diggers.
Okay, guys. Mr. Toh, thank you so much for pleading the fifth tonight. We accept it.
Mr. So.
I'm making my closing statement for the step.
Are you going to make a closing statement and try to put me in a light that I'm not quite prepared to handle? Why would you want to do that?
Don't put in a situation you can't handle.
You want me to more Ali here tonight? Please, I beg you. I'm putting in no situation where you can.
Mr. Toh, I need that video from you, please. Right. The video that when they were unveiling the 42 condominiums for George Weah, please. If you can send it to me, I'll be grateful.
The man when I went to Liberia, that was 2 years ago, right? Because when I heard about that $20 and that oil something, I interviewed the pastor. So I said, can I talk to the management of this complex or duplexes, the building here? Is it the manager down here? So I said, if the manager there, nobody here to proxy the affairs of it.
Yeah.
No manager, we want to see beyond God by. Can you imagine? So
I think Mr. Toh got a video. I want to see that video again. Please, Mr. Toh, if you can send it to me, I'll be grateful.
How those buildings were erected.
Yes, I want to know.
I'm planning to go to Liberia. I want to come back to my family. I'm not sharing that video again.
Oh my goodness.
We want to be at the auditors.
So, leader, video message. Welcome back. Okay. Mr. Toh, guys, have a pleasant evening. What we are saying, nobody is against, nobody try to antagonize anybody, but the virus now is on the rise in the country.
Rampage.
Yeah.
So we just want our leaders, those people, to act responsibly, make good decisions for the good of the country. That's all we want to do. Nobody hate anybody personally. We just want them to sometimes use their own common sense to get things going, considering what is ongoing. And hopefully they will reach to their constituencies too, to encourage them to use their mask, all health protocols, reach out to other people outside the system, not just only people who work in government. There are some other professional people. There are a lot of people, say, in the U.S. here, other parts of the country. And I'm quite sure if they call for their help, and the government create that sort of great atmosphere or condition, people will help, but they have to do their own part too. All right. They say Alain Natana Magui is here again. Where you come from?
I think Yeah, I heard on the radio he was here, and they say
Yeah.
is here also.
All right. Well, that's the beauty of being part of the executive branch of government, my son.
Oh yeah, you got a diplomatic passport. You can travel anytime.
All right.
Well, you guys said they couldn't travel, so they are traveling now. Don't complain, please.
Oh,
we don't.
Really?
I don't miss my words. I don't miss my word. Yeah. Oh, look at it. I said that I want to see the tangibles when they come. What they're taking back home. That was my word. I didn't say they couldn't come here. I always on tape. I don't lie. I said.
It's on his way there again. It's on his way there. So maybe you can ask him what he's bringing back.
I'm not. I'm not supposed to do.
No, I'm talking to Mr. Toe. Mr. Toe.
Yeah. But I call on people when the wrong thing is done for Liberia. I gotta call you up. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a partisan, I speak my mind. Any other person will speak their mind. So they try on the Liberian people money. If you come for a private visit, I ain't got nothing to do with you. But when you come to Liberian people money, that the Liberian people down, you spending, they sponsor you, then we want to know what you're carrying back or what you came for.
Okay, guys, you have a pleasant evening, and let's see what happened. Let's see what the old man going to say tomorrow. Old man Buenka.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I want to know what he ever received that 15K to when he was there for the 12 years.
Oh, my last knew that. I mean, asking that.
No, but he was vice president. I don't think he's a senator or
legislator. Who told you that?
He's a president of the Senate, so he didn't review that document. What did he say? So we will need to know what was his input as well. Was he in favor or against, or was there a court tool like the executive branch?
The man is.
Wow.
The man is $21 million rich. The vice president. That's what the magazine is telling us. $21 million rich, and he's the one that is telling us that he's still living on loan. So we want to know somebody that rich is it making mockery out of Liberian people? If you are $21 million rich, and then you tell us that you
finish paying your loan, then you take state power. But I'm afraid when you on loan and you take state power, then you're gonna use our country.
Good businessman always got credits, Good businessman who get
loans. Okay, gentlemen, have a pleasant evening.
Welcome to Fiber King of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You